Hello all, welcome to Tech Capture. So in our previous video, we started exploring Antigravity, which is a agentic development platform from Google. And within just a few minutes, we created a complete brand new website. We can say a 3D web application using Antigravity. So we haven't touched the browser for testing. We haven't touched a Google Cloud for deployment, but just with a single prompt, it created a whole website. It created a whole 3-tier web application. It tested it, took a screenshot, it took a video recording, and it also deployed on a Google Cloud without doing any kind of a manual intervention. So we did some manual intervention just to confirm if it should deploy or not. In case of we need any authentication, we had to authenticate, but with very minor manual intervention. Now what we are going to do in this video, so we are going to create our whole cloud infrastructure with just a single prompt, and we are also going to create one, let's say, a data pipeline, and we'll also try to see if we can create one web application which will interact with our data. Okay, so let's go to the Antigravity and start exploring Antigravity from the scratch again. So I am in my Antigravity IDE, and you can see I already authenticated using my email ID. So it required you to authenticate with your active Gmail ID. So it is completely free for now. Okay, so you can choose your own model. Let's say we'll go with the default most powerful Gemini3 Pro, which is a latest and most powerful Google LLM model. And you can also choose, let's say, the Cloud Sonnet or GPT, but I'll just go with the Gemini3 Pro because I also want to explore the Gemini3 Pro. Okay, so what I will do now, I want to just create whole my cloud infrastructure. So when I say a cloud infrastructure, I want to create the Google Cloud project. I want to create a VPC, I want to create a subnet, I want to create a firewall. I want to create one data pipeline which will pull a data from one website. So let's say I am having one Faker store product website. So this is just the public API and it is having the fake products data. So I want to create a data pipeline which will fetch the products data from this API, and it will load me in my data warehouse, which is a BigQuery. And also I want to create one web application which will display that data along with some images. So everything Antigravity will create from scratch, from the product images using the Nano Banana. It will create a whole Terraform code, it will create whole web application, it will create whole a Python script and deploy to Cloud Run. I will just give a single prompt and it will design whole system, design whole architecture, and it will do end-to-end implementation as well, end-to-end testing as well. It will open a browser and check if the web application is working fine. It will go and check the logs if the application is deployed correctly. So I don't need to navigate anywhere. I'll just stick to my agent in the Antigravity and see how it is performing. Okay, so let's go to the Antigravity and just give some descriptive prompt here. So I need to create cloud infrastructure using Terraform. I need new Google Cloud project. So definitely I will give the name. I need TT Antigravity Dev 00. Okay, so this is, I'm just giving the project name. I need to deploy Terraform code using my local application default credentials. If I don't give, also it will figure it out which credentials to use. I also need to create a data pipeline which will fetch data from public API, and I will give the public API link here so it will understand. This is the bare minimum information we have to provide at least, and load the product data into BigQuery table. Also create web app which will display product data on UI, deploy app on. So here I will not mention which service to use. I'll just mention deploy app on cloud service which require less cost and human operations. Okay, so it will decide which service to choose, and also generate product images to display on website or web page. Okay, so now we have given complete a kind of a system. It should create Terraform code first to create a project, then VPC, subnet, firewall. Even though we are not using the VPC, subnet, firewall, let's say also create 5 storage buckets. Okay, so I'm just giving some random infra in case we need. Okay, so we have given, let's count what we have given. So we are asked to create a Terraform code, we asked to create a project, we asked to create the ETL data pipeline which will fetch the data from the products and load into the BQ, and also the web application. Okay, so let's enter and see the magic. Okay, so I'll just wait and sit here, and I will just look at my screen. If it asks me to confirm wherever some commands need to be executed, then I will just put my hands on the mouse. So as we mentioned, it will generate artifact. Now first it will plan, it will create a list of tasks, what task needs to be performed. Now it is expanding the architecture. As we mentioned, Gemini3 comes with the thinking. So this is the thought process, what it is thinking. Okay, the actual output will be different. This is just the thought process. Okay, so once thought process is complete, then it will give us a output, which is the first artifact in the plan, and then it will create the implementation structure or architecture, then it will deploy it, then it will test it, take a screenshot. Now you can see it created a task list. So currently none of the task is completed. As our execution go in the further direction, it will start marking the task as done. You can see the create implementation plan is unchecked as of now. So it is asking me to run command gcloud version, Terraform version, accept, check. So it is checking if the gcloud version is installed, Terraform is installed. If not, it will go and install. Okay, so that is also one thing you have to remember. So it will install, just it will ask for your permission. Now it created the implementation plan. So now you can see the first task, it will mark as a complete. Implementation plan is ready, cloud infra and web app. So if you want to change anything, you can just comment here and it will. So it is asking, I have created a plan for GCP infra, data pipeline and web app. So please review the plan and let me know if you have billing ID or I should process with a placeholder. So I have a billing ID, so I will provide. So let me just give the billing ID and ask proceed. Okay, so now it is launching the execution phase. So as it goes forward, it will update. See, the 2 tasks are completed now, it marked as a completed. So we'll go back to the implementation plan. So let's see how the tasks are getting completed. So it is now doing the infrastructure setup. It created the folder, you can see the pipeline folder, Terraform folder, and now it will create a Terraform code. So it is thinking for now. You can see it created the file main.tf, variable.tf. So I'm not doing anything. I'm in the spectator mode. I'm just observing what my agent is doing. Now you can see the bell icon, it means it required some input. Let's expand and check. It is asking for Terraform init. Let's say you don't want, it should ask for all the Terraform init, Terraform plan, but it should ask for Terraform apply. Then you can go to the agent setting. Okay, and here you can add the command allow list. Okay, let's say earlier I had deploy.sh, so I'll just add Terraform init as allow list. Okay, I'll add one more Terraform plan Okay, but I want Terraform apply to be in a normal execution mode, so it will ask me every time before apply Terraform. Okay, so Terraform apply, it is asking accept. Okay, so you can see the setup infrastructure will be complete now. So the project it is creating first, we will see in the browser as well. So it is creating total 21 resources. You can see it is creating 21 resources, and we haven't touched anything. We just given the initial prompt and the billing ID as well. So it automatically decided, okay, which permission the service account needed, and it is giving that permission. So meanwhile, I'll go and check if it created the project. So let me just go back to the cloud overview and check it created the Antigravity project. Yeah, Antigravity dev. So I have given this ID, so the project is created. Great. So what it is creating, so table also created, bucket also created. So the job pipeline it is creating. It also scheduling the job. Great. As we mentioned, we need a data pipeline. It's also scheduling the job. Now it is deploying the cloud run service. This is the first time I am feeling useless in my YouTube video, because in most of the video I keep doing the things and sharing my screen, but now this is the first time I shared my screen but I am not doing anything. I am just doing the commentary because Antigravity is doing everything for me. Now I can see what it did. Terraform apply is going on. Let's validate what it has created till now. So let's validate the bucket first. Okay, so it created a buckets. Great. It followed the naming convention, bucket 1, bucket 2. Let's go and check the BigQuery if it created a table and data set. Okay, so it created a product data set. It also created a table. Great. Okay, so it no data as of now because the pipeline is not ready, I believe. So let's check the VPC if it is created a VPC. Okay, not yet. Let's see what's happening there. Okay, now it is asking for input, retrying Terraform apply after permission error, accept. So what happened here, it denied permission while creating. Permission denied for artifact registry or not available, not exist. Okay, so it did some thinking, it made some changes and it's doing it again. So it figured out based on the error what went wrong and it's trying to add that permission, or it just maybe making some code changes or just retrying. So I haven't done anything, so it is just figuring out what is the root cause of the error and it is the fixing error as well. So this is amazing. It's not only creating the code but it is also doing all the troubleshooting, fixing the code, and again the testing, end-to-end testing. Okay, now it is asking me to create, authenticate with the artifact registry, which is a valid region. Okay, accept. Great. Now it is building and pushing a Docker image. Okay, build, submit, accept. So let's check the artifact registry it has created. So let me just go back to the artifact registry. I'm just validating in UI if it has created successfully, but yeah, it will automatically validate on your behalf. You don't even need to validate. It will do all the validation if bucket is created, if file is pushed, if Docker image is created, if it is deployed successfully, it will go and check everything. So you can see, as I mentioned, only apply it is asking, it is not asking for Terraform init or plan. So let's expand this, what's happening. You can see it creating the images as well. As I mentioned, using the Nano Banana, it is generating the images based on the product. This is amazing. Now it deployed and it is verifying the deployment. See, it completed till this stage. Okay, now it is just the verification is pending. Now it will open browser for a Cloud Run and it will check the URL, everything it will check on our behalf. So first it is executing the job, so it will load data into BQ. It is checking the status of the job now. Okay, so it executed the job and checking the status. Now it is confirming the web API. API also fine. Now it will check the UI and it will open a browser now. So now you can see it is creating the walkthrough. Okay, so walkthrough is done, data pipeline is complete, web application is ready here. Let's open. See, it generated all the images using Nano Banana for the given product. So this is amazing. From creating the product, so this is amazing, from creating a Google project, enabling all API, enabling service account, giving all the required permission, then creating VPC, subnet, firewall, storage bucket, then creating ETL end-to-end data pipeline, then loading data into BigQuery, and then creating the web application and deploying onto the Cloud Run. So it had just performed everything with a single prompt. I haven't touched my keyboard, I haven't touched my mouse, and end-to-end architecture it has designed, end-to-end a Terraform code. So it created end-to-end Terraform code, it created end-to-end pipeline, it created end-to-end the whole web application, and it deployed. Okay, now let's say I want to make some changes. Okay, so how I can do that? So let's say if I go to the task, data pipeline, web application, I'll just add a command. My UI is looking poor, can you make my UI better with some dark theme and animation? And also show some discount banners. Okay, so I just added a comment, and then we have to submit this comment, so it will do all the process again. Now if you see, it is having this basic UI. Let's see how it will upgrade. So it is analyzing the index.html now. Yeah, now you can see it created a rich UI, and I also asked for some discount banners. Yeah, it added 40% discount animation. So this is amazing. Whole infrastructure, web application, data pipeline, everything it created from scratch. Model quota limit exceeded, that's fine, we can select another model, but we are done with our demo. So we tried end-to-end demo from creating Google Cloud project, creating data pipeline, creating Terraform code, deploying web application, fetching that data. One thing I wanted to show, let's verify the Google Cloud resources. Okay, so we had to verify the ETL data pipeline. So let's check the Cloud Run job for web application as well as the data pipeline. So this is for web app and this is for data pipeline. So it was loading data into a big queue. So let's go to the big queue and check the data into table. So when we saw earlier, there was no data. Yeah, so it loaded all the product data. So it figured out what schema it need, where it need a string, where it need a float. So based on the API data, it figured out. Okay, so this was the data. I also want to do some additional small test here. Let's say when I change a model to Claude, does it have all the old context? I'll just ask run pipeline again. So let's see if it understands the previous history, because now earlier model was a Gemini3 and now we are interacting with, oh, it's doing. So even we change a model, it is easily understanding our old context because everything is stored in artifacts. If you go to the agent manager, you will see the old chat as well. So here in agent manager, you see all the agent previous chats are going on here. So this is the running operations. And here if you see all the artifact, also you can see the files chain, review. Toggle, browser. Let's close for now. So earlier it was only one run for the Cloud Run job. So there should be a second run going on now. Yeah, it just triggered. It is still in, yeah, it's in running state, but it will verify. We don't need to change that as well. Successfully triggered, execution is now running. We'll fetch the product data. Oh, great. Okay, so that's done. So we will do one last operation here. We will destroy everything which we created so that we will not lose any of our billing. Okay, so I'll just destroy everything we created. Okay, so let's see. It will ask for a confirmation. Yeah, destroy, because init and plan are part of the allow list. So now it is destroying everything. It will take some time. So along with project, it will destroy everything. Okay, so cannot destroy table because deletion protection is false and running Terraform apply. So I see the BigQuery table has deletion protection enabled. So let me update the Terraform configuration to disable it. So it automatically update the Terraform file. So even if it found any issue, it will immediately go and check for the solution and apply that solution. So we don't need to go and keep troubleshooting. So AI is becoming smarter and it will make human really dumb, because let's say I created this whole infrastructure that is completely fine, that is completely happy, but let's say something happening in future, something is breaking in my infrastructure, then it is difficult for me to go and check my infrastructure or troubleshoot the issues. So it should ideally delete the project as well, because that is also part of the Terraform code. Okay, so everything destroyed. Let's verify. Yeah, project not found. So let's see the project, Antigravity project. It is not there. So what I will do, I will go to any of the project and check in the deletion pending project. It should be there. Resource pending deletions. Yeah, so this project is pending for deletion, Agentic Antigravity. Yeah. Okay, so hope this is clear now, how we can work with anti-gravity and how it is powerful. You can just give a single prompt and your whole infrastructure will be ready in a few minutes. So that's it for this video, and we'll see a more amazing demos on this anti-gravity and Gemini3 in our upcoming videos. So thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you again in the next video.